So today's masterclass is all about fall in love with your life. Well, Jim, what does that mean? And what if things are going bad and I don't even know what you're talking about? So let's just check in on that. Fall in love with your life. Okay. I can do that, Jean, if everything's going okay and going my way and all of those sort of things. But there's a bit of catastrophe happening in the world at the moment whenever or whatever. And our world can be our own personal world, it can be the outside world as well. So, how can I fall in love with my life and why? Well, in mystery school, we didn't understand the concept of expectation, entitlement. We didn't have the global news that we do have now on the social media and also the news and things like that. It was forms of communication of telepathic and maybe drumming or something like that. Excuse me. But we fell in love with life on the very basics. And we had food, water, and shelter. Well, how can it get any better than that? And if you've got your community, well, those basic things are still applicable today. So if I was going to fall in love with life, if I've got food, which I do, and I've got water, fresh water that I can drink or shower in, or I'm very privileged that I've got a pool as well, or water the garden or whatever, I'm going to fall in love with life. That gives me my basic stable thing to survive and then shelter, my home, my house, whatever it is. See, fabulous. And it wasn't the stresses and the pressures of I've got to have this, I've got to do that, I've got to be there, I've got to be at this sort of lifestyle, I've got to be this weight, I've got to look like that. Holy dooly. There's a lot of things in this 3D paradigm that have thrown us off kilter from the ancient teachings of fall in love with life. And so let's just stay with the basics for the moment of food, water, shelter. If you've got some food, now food for me is really important. Having been homeless when I was 16, food is like amazing. Also culturally, like everything was based around food. And still, if you come to my house, I'm going to feed you. I'm going to fatten you up. I'm going to say, do skinny, eat, fight, eat. Because food brings in love in itself. I remember one Christmas many years ago, the kids were little, and I had a client. He'd just separated from his wife and he had his son or their son for Christmas. And he was going to be all alone. And it was quite a breakup for him because she'd left him. And I said, come to my place. Come for Christmas. I don't know what we're doing, but it will work out. It's fine. And for Christmas for us, we don't do like the Australian Christmas of roasts and things like that or prawns or whatever. And he turned up with a loaf of bread and a bag of crispy chips. That's it. He said, perfect. My kids loved it. We didn't have chips and bread. And so the kids, the three kids, my two and his one, they had chip sandwiches. Gross for me. It was fun for them. And we just talked and connected. And a few other people popped in. I used to do like homeless Christmases for clients and things. Food. Food is that getting together. Now, whether your food is, and if we had the gratitude in 3D paradigm too, gratitude is the art of loving. Or when we do have food, whether you go into the supermarket and buy an apple, or whether you can have a meal, or if you go to a coffee shop and get a croissant or something. Excuse me. Um, wow. How can I not fall in love with food, like with life, when I've got food available to me? Oh my goodness me, how delish. Especially if we take the time to look at it, thank it, know that somewhere it's going to nourish us. With a chip sandwich, it's still nourishing the fun part of us, even if it's not good for us. So back to the basics, to fall in love with life, food. And as I said, my culture is all about gatherings and together and food and just having a great time. The Greek part like no thrashing plates and things like that. And then the Arabic part is all about smorgasbord. It's vegetarian, but you add meat and it's just delicious. And you scoop up the food with bread, use your fingers and forks and knives and spoons and stuff. Scoop in, delicious, amazing. So, of course, I'm going to fall in love with life when there's food. And sometimes some people have food stories, whether it be anorexia, trying to lose weight, maybe they didn't have much food as a child, whatever. But you see, you have a choice to make a decision straight away of, I'm going to make food one of my fall in love with life. And so every time we go get a piece of food, whatever it is, um, be judgy on it. Take that donut and you're on the diet. Just have a bite. Like take a bite and enjoy it. Fall in love with having it. I'm going to use my phone, for example. This is a donut. I don't like donuts, by the way. And then put the donut somewhere else or give it to someone else or throw it or whatever. Just fall in love with that food right now. How delicious is it? Yum. Yum. Wow. Or a juice. Now let's go to fall in love with liquids, water, the basics, just water alone. I've just had 2 glasses of water. I'm a bit behind this morning. Normally I have a liter before I've jumped onto this. And water, it's delish. I just taught over the weekend sacred geometry and how you can grid your water up and change the molecular structure of the water. It tastes soft and silky and sweet, cool and fresh. Drink water, coffee, Coke, whatever it is. Why not fall in love with it? Like if we stop to actually hold the water, this is what we did yesterday. Took the water, just held the cup. Thank you so much for the water. And then we took a tiny sip and let it swell from the tip of the tongue right round and felt it going down through the esophagus, down, and you could feel it going into the stomach. How can you not fall in love with life with that? Or here in Queensland, it's been extremely hot, cold for me today. Extremely hot. Oh my gosh, fell in love with like water. I put a slice of lemon in it. I grid my water as well. It's like, oh, so refreshing. Delish. Or any other liquid, whether it be a homemade juice or smoothie or tea or herbal tea or coffee or whatever. When you have that beautiful liquid, your basics, food, water, of course, I'm going to fall in love with life because it means that I'm not going to be thirsty later on. It means that it cleans out all of my systems, digestive, lymphatic, circuitry, all of those things. It stops headaches and constipation and all those medical things as well. Yum, delish. And especially with your water, I have a gold sparkly glass. The water's gridded, gold sparkly glass, slice of lemon. Then it sits on a beautiful crystal plate, clear quartz plate with gold around it. Gold's my favorite color. Yum. Yum. Wait to drink the water. I also have my own sacred geometry bottles that I drink from that. Like I just want to have love. And as I drink it, I am falling in love with life. So back to the basics, food and water. That's all I need to do, fall in love with life. Now let's go to shelter. Shelter. Gina, I don't own my own home. Stop, 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 stop. We're not talking about owning your own home. It's all about how can I fall in love with life today in a home. Home. And your home could be anywhere. Having been homeless, my home was anywhere I could find home and sleep at some stage. And I'm very blessed I have my own house home as well. But it really doesn't matter where you are, your own home or shelter, such as when it's raining, you're under shelter. It doesn't matter what you own, what the furniture's like, all of those sort of things. It doesn't matter. And if you notice this fall in love with life, it's coming back to gratitude as well. And coming back to the basics that we used to do, not the advanced technology that we supposedly have, where people are very critical and judgy. of, yeah, but and I've got to run about and et cetera, et cetera. It's like, oh my goodness me, basics, 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 just the basics. Have you got somewhere to sleep? Well, sleep-wise, I can now sleep in a bed. When I took my group to Egypt in October 2025, I had hip problems. I could sleep in bed. My lordy, my hip was so painful. I didn't tell them that though. But I was able to catch a few zizzes sitting up in the chair, which was not comfortable. But I was able to sleep. I was able to shower. I was able to get my food and water. Same thing. So falling in love with life starts with the very, very the basics, not where you're going, what you're owning, your status, your title. Why do I say that? Because I've worked with many people over the years, both as a nurse and doing this sort of work. And there's people with an abundance of money and possessions and things and family, whatever, and they are not falling in love with life. People have the illusion that once I earn, once the kids are grown up, once I pay off the mortgage, once, then I can fall in love with life. Once I retire, once I, no, 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 no. Back to the basics. I'm going to fall in love with life with the basics: food, water, shelter. And then when we have that love space of, wow, I've got that, I've got everything I need to go beyond survival, then in comes the other things: friendship, connection, support. And some people say, but I haven't got any friends, connection, or support. Yes, you do. You start with yourself first. And then if you do that and gift yourself the permission to receive, easy. Friendships come in, support comes in, and a connection comes in. And you get to decide what sort of friends, support, and connection you want. That's falling in love with your life. That now comes into boundaries of who's going to enter your life. If we're doing it from desperation, then we have friendships and support and connection that really don't align with us. And is it really friendship, support, and connection? Maybe, maybe not. So that next level of falling in love with life is, wow, I want a connection with. And it could be connection with another person, maybe a puppy, maybe a camel, maybe a person from around the world, maybe it's a connection with a group, maybe it's a connection with my girlfriend. She got a connection. She started a walking group through Meetup, walking, and also motorbike. That's how she found her husband. She wanted friendship, support, and connection after leaving her husband. And so she joined a couple of meetups. And this guy was both in the walking group and the motorbike group. And then they ended up getting married. So how can you not fall in love with life when you've got food, shelter, water, friendship, support, and a connection? You see, the basics. It's not about falling in love with life because you get to travel and you've got this amount of money and you can buy clothes and you can. That just doesn't feel our basic needs as a human being at all. As I mentioned, I've got clients that've got all of that: money, status, title, etc. They're not falling in love with life at all. At all. There's another tip for falling in love with life. This one's a big one. And excuse me, I burnt incense this morning and it's just irritating my nose and eyes. So the last tip for falling in love with life, or the last bit, I should say, is being of service. Take the focus off you. Wait a minute, Gina, I've read all these self-development books and spiritual books that say put yourself as a priority. Yes, all of that. But take the focus off you and who are you servicing? You see, when we take it off us and we take off the complaining and I haven't gotten whatever else, third dimension at the moment, which back in mystery school, when we had food, the basics, food, water, and shelter, we didn't focus on us. What happened is we serviced. So as I planted corn for the community, someone else planted tomatoes, someone else planted cucumbers, and we used to just do a share and a swap. It's the servicing. And I know 100% guaranteed that when we focus not on ourselves and service, we fall in love with life. Every single personality, every single person, every animal, every child. Because there's actually joy in when they feel great, we feel great too. It goes beyond people pleasing. It's actually the service. That is a investment in yourself and in them, because when they are emanating this light, it spreads. You see, you're emanating this light and shining your brilliance too, which ripple effects to them, ripple effects on. So then we come back to friendship, support, connection, which comes back to basics of food, water, shelter. Give you an example. The Amish. The Amish, they've got set uniform as such, set clothes for men and women. They believe in service. They believe they don't have any of the technology stuff. And they work together. The women aren't just cooking for themselves as a soul family. They're doing it as a community. If I'm good at cooking bread, I'm doing it for the community. Someone else is doing. And when they're building a house together, they do it together. The men are out together doing it as service. And so that's a fall in love with life, because if I'm doing it for the greater picture and take the focus off me, we don't go into ego mind. At the moment, things like influences and all that sort of stuff can be a little bit ego mind of me. And how many likes do I have on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, blah, blah, blah. It's just blah, blah. And those people aren't happy, because if I took away TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook, then what? Are they falling in love with life? Because that's a false sense of self. That's saying, I'm happy and I'm in love with life because, and then I'm going to continue a dopamine hit. Oh my gosh, how many likes? How many go? Who messaged me? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And me personally, if I wasn't in business, I would use social media. But I like to educate people and support people. So I fall in love with that aspect of social media too, and technology, because it's of service, just like doing a Zoom. So if I fall in love with life, we start back at the basics: food, shelter, water, support, friendship, connection. Next stage, be of service. Last one, fall in love with life, gratitude. Gratitude is the art of loving. And if I'm grateful for the basics, food, shelter, water, which the universe has this wacky sense of humor, and we get it all the time, and we're getting it at the moment with whatever's happening in the world at the moment. We had it in 2020 with all the COVID stuff, and we had it in 9/11. We had it with the tsunami on Boxing Day, whatever year that was as well. I've had it many times. To come back to the basics, oh my goodness me, food, shelter, water, connection, support, friendship, service, and then gratitude. It's just the basics of life, the basics of Mystery School. How can you not fall in love with life when you've got the basics? Do you need anything else? Need anything else? Well, not with the basics. You've got the survival stuff, the emotional stuff, and also the spiritual stuff. What lifts your spirit? And what lifts our spirit is to serve and to be in gratitude. Simples, so simples. So fall in love with life. And to do so, it's so simple. So next time you have something to eat, you have a drink, or you're cleaning your house. Next time you connect with a friend, whether it be on social media, phone call, or text, in person, get support, etc., you're actually in love with your life. You just didn't realize that. So to fall in love with your life, You're doing it already. Just maybe you want to wear. Maybe today, at this moment, while you're listening to this, you've gone, I've already got that. Of course, I'm going to fall in love with life. And of course, your health is your wealth. If you've got great health as well, what a way to fall in love with your life. Even when I had like excruciating pain in my hip, and every time I sat up, I'd rip the tendons. Every time I stood, I'd rip the tendons. I still fell in love with life because I was grateful that I was servicing clients in Egypt, that I had friendship, connection, support from my team, and all the group was supporting each other. We had shelter, I had someone to stay. Definitely had the bestest food. I love the Arabic food and water. No matter which way you go, I'm with life. So what we're going to do right now is have some golden heart moments, because it's about the sharing of community that helps us to fall in love with life and also be aware. And that sharing of gold is that awakened awareness, love, alchemy. And you've all got it. So that's why I love you to share. On the heart space, it's like, boom, it dropped in my heart, got out of my head. So it's not a golden nugget, it's a golden heart space. And if you'd like to share in the chat, all you've got to do is put a Y first. Yes, Jen can share in the chat. And if you'd like to unmute, that would be amazing too. So we'll go Lou, Anne Lee, and Andrew, if you can. Thank you, Lou. Friendship starts with me. Yes. See, you guys have got the wisdom as well. Friendship starts with me. And it is about being our own bestest friend. When I teach medical intuition, the thyroid, parathyroid area is commitment to myself, devotion to me be my bestest friend. So beautiful, Lou. And Lee, welcome, darling. Do you want to share? You just have to unmute yourself, sweetie.
For me, it's kind of all of those areas because I was raised up in a culture of food as well. So with me, that is connection, that is sharing the food, that is connecting with each other, that is appreciating the time we have together. For me, that's a number one. And I think always being present with the people, whoever you're with, even if it's a stranger that happens to just need a bit of light and someone to see them, I think that connection is just as important. As well as, the basics. So you're right. When the weather is a bit challenging and your body needs to be nourished as well as hydrated, you're grateful, right? So it's a basic thing, but so grateful for everything that is in my life in those areas. So I can't complain. Thank you.
Let's go to Andrew. I was on mute. I didn't realize. Andrew.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, thank you, Jane, for the message. It just brought me back into the simplicity of things that makes me feel rich. Even if I didn't have social media, I'd be still walking up the mountain this morning. And then, finding a feather on the path, I feel rich, and feel it's just the small little things that, makes me feel like I've got a great life. So when I appreciate that, it doesn't matter. Like, yes, it does, the online people that I connect with as well. But just this morning just was a good reminder just to bring it back to the basic simplicity things of water, food, shelter, friends, and who I connect with today to make a difference. So thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Let's go Monique, Maud, and Kim.
Jen, I'm in the car. Can you hear me?
We can, darling. Thank you.
Oh, perfect. I think the reminder for me was just it doesn't matter what things or wobblies are happening in life. If you can stay present in the moment and fall in love with the moment and see all of those things as a gift, then that's the simplicity of it. So thank you, Jen.
Pleasure. Beautiful. Thank you so much. I will go to Maud.
Hello, Maud here. Good evening. And I am in love with life. and I am my best friend, because if you stay alone a long time, you have to be your best friend. You don't have to be how can I say it? I cannot find the word for it, but you don't have anybody else to lie on, so you have to be by yourself, and then you're going to be your best friend, and you know yourself best, and you know everything, and then you appreciate everything even more.
Yeah.
That is what I can say for today. Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much, Maud. Let's go to Kim.
Morning, everyone. Mine is appreciate that I have my basic needs met in the moment. So, and realizing that that's okay and not striving to have more. Appreciating what I have. So, thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, darling. And Joy, can you hear me, sweetie? Can you unmute and share?
Yeah.
And by the way, so blessed. We've got Kim in New Zealand, Maud in Sweden, Joy in Canada, Luz in New Zealand. Like, it was this, Monique, Andrew, and Lee, I think you're in Queensland too. So how is this? I love the global community. So welcome, Joy.
Thank you. I may start crying because I'm still very emotional, but my challenging health over the last 3 months has given me the chance to fall in love with myself and life from all the love and caring that I've received over that time. It's just I can't think of another word but unbelievable. And maybe I had to go through that to know that I'm worthy of love for life and love from people. Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. And thank you so much for that profound sharing. Thank you, Dylan. So remember, you've already got it. It was a basic thing that we understood many years ago. Fall in love with your life. You've got everything. You know how to do it. It's the practice of, it's being conscious of it. And good stuff. Why not celebrate? Celebrate right now. Celebrate with great water, food, to reach out to somebody and say, have a great day. And you're servicing them, you're in gratitude. How easy. So thank you so much, Super Souls, and I will see you next week for Masterclass. Bye.